Straight ahead on CBS 19 News at 4, a tragedy on the diamond for a local family. Family and friends honoring a local baseball player killed after being hit by a ball warming up for a Babe Ruth Kids Game. And UVA Health donating $30,000 to the Charlottesville Free Clinic. We'll show you how it's going to help the patients receive quality care in the area. CBS 19 News at 4 starts right now.
Live from the CBS 19 News studio, this is CBS 19 News at 4, Charlottesville News First.
Well, we start tonight with a tragic story out of Charlottesville. An 8th grade student was killed after being hit by a baseball. Happened during pregame warm-ups earlier this week. CBS 19's Felicity Taylor in the studio with more on that. Felicity.
Rick, we spoke to the family of Buford Middle School 8th grader Calvin Ness, and they want him to be remembered as a great friend, a great teammate, and a great brother. Ness was warming up for a baseball game at Lane Field on Monday. That's when a ball that was hit by his coach hit him. By all accounts, it was a tragic accident. Ness was rushed to the emergency room, but yesterday he was taken off life support. His organs were donated to help save lives. In a statement, the Ness family said, in part, quote, "We give our heartfelt love for Calvin's teammates, coaches, and first responders. The last 2 days have shown us the impact that Calvin's life had on so many communities he was part of, from school to baseball and beyond." Charlottesville schools are also working to help the kids and families affected by this tragedy. Earlier today, I spoke with members of the PTO at Calvin and his sibling schools about why community support is so important.
I think it's important that our kids know that they are seen and that they're heard, that their feelings are acknowledged, that this is a tremendous time of grief and loss for our community and for the family, and we want to rally together as a community.
PTO members are in the schools bringing treats, helping out with lunch duty, and being a familiar face the kids can trust. Charlottesville Schools says they have many school counselors, social workers, and psychologists available. They also sent out information to school families on how to handle tragedies at home. The Babe Ruth League canceled practices and games for the rest of the week, and there's an emergency board meeting tomorrow where they will discuss how to move forward. In the studio, Felicity Taylor, CBS 19 News.
All right, thanks, Felicity. William Monroe High School closed today after vandalism was discovered early this morning inside the school. Sources tell CBS 19 the vandals broke chairs, set off fire extinguishers, and there are large holes in the walls. There was other damage as well. Several events and sports team practices are all canceled for today. The Greene County Sheriff's Office is treating the vandalism as a crime, and they say there could be prosecution. Commonwealth's attorneys say 2 officer-involved shootings in Albemarle County were justified. You remember in late August, a man named Andrew Todd Ainsworth was shot and killed by police at the intersection of the Route 29 bypass and Fontaine Avenue after being pulled over, and they say drawing his own gun. Members of a multi-jurisdictional U.S. and U.S. Marshals task force, including an ACPD officer, found Ainsworth, who was wanted on outstanding federal warrants. No officers were hurt. The other incident involved the fatal shooting of Billy Seitz. On February 28th of this year, Albemarle officers were assisting Charlottesville officers who were attempting to serve Seitz with 3 outstanding criminal warrants. There was a brief standoff, and officers opened fire when they say they saw a weapon. After reviewing all the evidence, the Commonwealth's attorney has concluded that the use of deadly force was justifiable, and there will not be charges filed against those officers.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Good afternoon, friends. Almost right on cue, around 2:30, 3 o'clock. A few showers and thunderstorms developed in central Virginia, and they're lingering around, giving us a somewhat wet drive here as we round out this work week. Showers and thunderstorms confined for the moment to Albemarle and Nelson counties. Take you in for a very quick look. One little thunderstorm now approaching Prophet and Stony Point. Nothing severe at this point, just a couple lightning strikes and some very heavy rain. There's nothing in the atmosphere to push this storm, so it's drifting very slowly to the east. I do expect it to be in Gordonsville in about the next 20 to 30 minutes. Also, northern Nelson County on the approach to Covesville. Got another little thunderstorm. Again, nothing severe. Approaching Covesville and Herds and Route 29 near the Albemarle Nelson County line. Little burst of rain for you. Rain cooled 73 in Charlottesville, 84 in Standardsville, 82 in Dillwyn, Louisa, and Orange, and 86 degrees in Culpeper. We'll continue with these showers and storms at least until sunset, after which We lose the storms and keep scattered showers around into the overnight, and temperatures mainly in the 70s. Now, as far as the weekend goes, good news is there are dry conditions ahead for Sunday. The bad news is you got outdoor plans on Saturday. Some showers and storms might affect those. So we'll talk about your weekend forecast in detail in just a couple minutes.
Well, May is Stroke Awareness Month, and UVA Health wants to make sure that you are informed. Now, currently, Americans are seeing an increase in young adults having strokes. Dr. Ryan Kellogg says that Americans are increasingly becoming unhealthy, causing a rise in obesity and type 2 diabetes. The types of strokes are called ischemic and hemorrhagic, with ischemic being the most common. That condition comes from a blocked artery. The best way to reduce the threat is to change your lifestyle, having better nutrition, exercise, and managing your blood pressure.
Blood flow or oxygen, more brain tissue that dies. So we really try to educate patients and their family members that as soon as you realize that someone's not acting right, you have some suspicion that it could potentially be a stroke, you should act on it because every minute matters.
Now, to watch out for the sign of stroke, they say remember B fast. B for balance, E for eyes, vision for face, being droopy, A for the arms, S for speech, T, time. The faster you get to the hospital, the better. Charlottesville Free Clinic receiving a generous donation in honor of its physicians. UVA Health donated $30,000 to the Charlottesville Free Health Clinic. The clinic sees more than 8,000 visits annually and serves more than 2,600 medical, mental health, and dental patients each year.
The clinic was envisioned 30 years ago by two UVA medical residents, and the partnership with UVA over these past 30 years has been instrumental in our growth, development, and success. And we're incredibly grateful to not only have the partnership at UVA at the physicians level, but this financial support that really underscores what we're able to do together.
She also said not only will it help bring more people to the clinic, it will also continue to have high quality care. Want to be a podcast star? How about a YouTube star? Well, former NFL players turned podcasters Chris and Kyle Long looking for the next host to join their show and keep Charlottesville as the central focus of their shows. The Green Light Pod hosting open tryouts at Star Hill this afternoon. They said they're looking for the newest member of their team that reaches a huge national audience, but they want to keep that local flair, they say.
They might not end up on the podcast, but they might end up on YouTube. We could find some stars here today. Yeah. But more than anything, just some good moments meeting some fans.
No word on when they'll make a decision on new members of the team. You can find the Green Light Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. The Community Climate Collaborative is working on increasing their impact on local youth. CCC bringing 300 climate activity kits to Walker Upper Elementary today. They have both English and Spanish language options, and the kits come with activities like building a solar nightlight or growing a salad garden. The goal is to teach about energy and natural resources. Fifth grader Ellen Kaleo was picked to get a first look at the kit. She says it's because she just loves science.
I'm so excited to use it, and not just excited, I'm gonna explode out of happiness.
She's going to explode. Triple C brought over the 1,000 kits to Albemarle schools already, and this round of deliveries was the last for this year. This week is Teacher Appreciation Week, and CBS19 and Flow Automotive recognizing teachers in our area. CBS19's Brenna Kiefner introduces us to Louisa County's Educator of the Year.
She makes dreams come true, and that's what it's all about in education, making dreams come true.
After 27 years in Louisa County Public Schools, Mrs. C has been named their Educator of the Year for her continuous impact on Louisa County students. In second grade, Mrs. C makes sure her students are having fun while learning and are absorbing the material being taught in an influential way. From building robot leprechauns to teaching students how to communicate, Mrs. C teaches her students to have no limits when it comes to education.
Miss C truly represents all of our educators here at Louisa County Public Schools. It's obvious when your peers vote you as the Educator of the Year. They see you every single day. They see the impact you're making. And to see her be represented out here as our Educator of the Year is fantastic.
Having a sense of positivity has allowed Mrs. C and her students to make every action and word important in every relationship, which all starts in the classroom. Mrs. C describes teaching as an opportunity for yourself to grow, and there is no better time to start growing than today.
It's not easy, but taking the hard path is always worth it, because in the end, looking back at everyone who you've been able to reach out to and to help that is what fills your heart.
Straight ahead on CBS 19 News at 4, the second round of debt ceiling talks postponed. We'll tell you why talks between the House and White House are put off for now. The man who placed another man who died in a chokehold on a New York subway now facing charges. We'll tell you what they are. And the White House wants you to get paid if your flight is canceled or delayed. We'll tell you how that's going to work after Travis in the forecast.
A huge low-pressure system stretching from the Front Range of the Rockies to central Virginia. It's going to affect our weather for the next several days. How so? We're producing showers and storms on Mother's Day. All the answer in the forecast for you right after this.